Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I am your host, Corbin, with my co-host, Tate. We have a very special guest on today. This is Brian from LamboXApes.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going well. It's going well.
Going great, man. We cannot complain.
Very happy to have you.
I'm very glad to be here, man.
So, Brian, if you just don't mind, if you could just give us a brief overview of who you are and what made you want to start the NFT project LamboXApes.
Well, my name is Brian, and if you don't know, I'm the founder of LamboXApes. When I started the project, I've always been in cryptocurrency. I've been looking at it for many years, investor and enthusiast, and seeing the whole NFT space evolve into what it is today. And so I started looking at different smart contracts and Binance, and as it started to evolve. And my background is payments. So I worked for a lot of payment processing companies like First Data, Thesis, Heartland. Processing payments and micro payments was kind of my game for a while. And I've always had a video game store and video rental store at a young age. So I started LamboXApes with wanting to create something cool, man. You know, I didn't plan for it to grow to what it is today, become so popular, but I just wanted to create something unique, different, and original, and have fun doing it. So I created augmented reality Lambos. The reason I did that is because Lambos have always symbolized a wealth, being successful in crypto. Like win Lambo, kind of like going to the moon now. And then the apes, I was an original ape from back in the day, part of the short squeeze, AMC, kind of educating people what all that was about with the Citadel. And yeah, so I'm kind of apish. So I decided to do something cool and put them together. And, I wanted to give nice rides to apes, man.
That is amazing. I love that.
Have you guys been, random question, but have you guys been endorsed by the Wall Street Bets community?
Honestly, when we first started, we did a collaboration with Wall Street Bets, XRP Wall Street Bets, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, me personally was part of the Wall Street Bets before Wall Street Bets became popular.
Wow.
Okay.
Because it's like a political movement behind the whole short squeeze and everything, man. There's more to it than a lot of people know. But,
oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So definitely part of the Wall Street Bets, and got a lot of my crew members in there, that took advantage of the short squeeze. Some of my friends, they got like 15 call options. They were able to cash them out for over 10,000 a piece.
Guys, that's amazing.
That's a Lambo.
Yeah, dude, they made bank, bro.
As they deserved it.
They made bank.
As they deserved it.
That's great.
And then some of my friends, they watched the GME price go all the way up, and they got all excited. Like, oh, man, oh, my God, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. And then they just held it all the way down, dude. And they're like crying.
Oh, no. Well,
yeah,
that's how you learn the market.
True.
Some people love the roller coaster more than anything, man.
Of course.
Like,
of course. So what made you choose the XRPL for your NFT project?
Well, I saw an opportunity because XRP was just coming into the space as far as bringing NFTs. So they're a real strong currency from what I've seen over the years. They've been around for a very long time, and the community is very strong. I've noticed the community and the people that are involved in XRP, they're very like-minded, outside of the box thinkers, I saw an opportunity to be able to, start a project and be able to really develop it out before coming up. You know what I mean? Because of the new upgrade that's coming to the network.
Yes.
So it gave me an opportunity to do the project and take my time and do it the way I wanted it to, because it's not an easy project, man. Like my project is, or LamboXApes is unlike any other project that's in the NFT space. No one has really done it like this, and I wanted to be different, but also being different and being unique comes challenges. So overcoming those challenges takes time, and we're getting through it though. So it's been a fun experience.
It's a great network to be a part of, considering Absolutely. It has a lot of potential to grow and you're very, very early adopter of the NFT space.
Oh yeah, I'd really. And so something we did unique is, yeah, we have compiled art through our LXA, but something I put together, and I'd never planned it for it to happen this way, is I started finding talent in the community, like different artists that were doing stuff for competitions, for example, and creating amazing art, and I brought them in. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make a part of a team. And I started recruiting like really talented community members that do art, and I created an art team. And we set it up a separate collection for them that we sell through our community art collection, and we have them do pieces for different influencers. And each artist will sign the bottom, and they'll make a collection from each artist. So now we have 10 artists, and each one makes a piece, and that's the only piece that'll ever be made for that particular collaboration, right? And for me, that's unique in itself, right? Because that's real art, It takes place during a certain time in history. It represents a certain time in history, and for me, that's beautiful.
Truly.
And so we recirculate that back into the pool, and so we have 10 artists, and we have about 10 community members that we have on staff. So we staff about 20 people, and part of the token economics, it circulates back in and back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Building the transactional information.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the token economics. So we're going to be looking at actually launching another token called Nitro. Wow. And Nitro is going to be what's going to stick around because all these are IOUs, right? Sure. So the IOUs are going to dissipate and they're going to turn into NFTs. Yeah. So the royalties, for example, from the NFTs, the royalties will be circulated back into Nitro, and then the staff will get paid in Nitro. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then when we sell art, it goes into Nitro. So there's the token economics of that. And that's going to live on after LXA is redeemed. Okay. All the LXA is redeemed for the IOUs,
Wow.
Because I didn't plan for it to be that way, man. I also set up a DAO, and I didn't even put that on the roadmap.
Yeah.
We have fully functional DAO, too.
That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're very structured with this, and I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, before I even put the project together, I had the mobile apps going and everything. So I have an augmented reality app right now on Apple. I have to update it. Just having some problems getting it updated, but it was published. It just got expired. But on the Google Play Store, you download the app. You can display the Lambo in your driveway. I wanted to do it different. A lot of people are doing galleries, but I've seen so many galleries, a 3D world with 2D images. I mean, it's cool, but 3D world with 2D images, Sure. I wanted people to see art in a different way, so I created the augmented reality app to put the Lambo in their driveway, which I think is really cool. And you can actually rotate it and walk inside of it. Eventually, I'm going to start putting animation and stuff in there as well. Kind of like my idea was to give people an NFT, but also give them the 3D model file. And the 3D model file can be, obviously it's more important to the game developers that we're making collaborations with the metaverses.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 3D object file's there to represent the NFT to put into the metaverses. We'll build Nitro in there. We can soup up your car, make it faster, and do things of that nature. And and then the augmented reality is just like our app for people to display their NFTs in a cool way, fun, interactive. And we also have a Facebook app and a Instagram app that shows Lambos.
Yeah, I could also see that model being useful for people who are really into spatial galleries and being able to implement that into that. If you want some help testing that, I can help. I've been trying to help the HBAR community with that as well, trying to implement 3D models. So I got your back.
Heck yeah, man. This is all community built, really, man.
Of course.
Everything is so community built with all this. And when I explain to people what this is about, I really tell them, if you really look at it, it's just people helping people. Yep. It is like there's some really good community members that my community managers, they actually serve parts in the community. They do a lot of stuff for a lot of people and helping people. And they're the ones that are buying the art from the artists. Why? Because they like them. Yeah. They talk on Discord. They build a relationship. They become friends. And everybody's just helping each other, supporting each other. It's really cool to see how it's come together.
And it's amazing because there's not really any other community as strong as the XRP community.
I haven't seen it.
There isn't. It's insane. Just because, like you said, everybody supports each other. You have every single NFT project that is a true NFT project supporting one another in some sort of way.
Yeah.
Collaborating, merging. It's incredible.
I'm friends with the junkies, you know. I just talked to Lawrence today on the phone, you know, and not everybody likes X Meta, you know, Roger, but I'm still friends with him, you know.
Yeah, junkies are our favorite. Up there.
But, you know, so yeah, junkies, but Roger's good people too. You know, he's doing his thing with X Meta. And, you know, everybody in the space. I've met them. I've talked to them. I built a relationship. And in Ethereum, there's not that, man. You know, they don't have that close niche relationships between the projects, you know.
Not at all.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other problem too with Ethereum is that it's so big. It's like New York City. It's like there's no way everybody can like get to know each other. And everybody kind of creates their own little cliques and stuff.
Yep.
Whereas the XRP community, because it's newer, is like a smaller, like rural, maybe like a farm town or something. Like everybody helps out each other. Something happens to somebody's farm. Everybody, you know, pitches in and gets some like a cow or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
It's a great way to describe it, actually.
Yeah. It is, man. And, you know, people also help each other. We keep the scammers out too. We notice a project or, you know, a link between somebody that's doing something, and, you know, we're pretty good, man. We try to help each other, you know, and support each other. And that's what it's about. You know, I really feel that's what this is all about, is creating beautiful things and supporting our creators, you know.
And that is exactly why we will win in the end.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes
completely agree.
all it takes, a little bit of time.
So tell us just a little bit about the OG Club and like what are some benefits of being a part of it compared to like the OG Whale Club and stuff.
So the club members, so that's why we introduced the Fusion token, right?
Sure.
The Fusion would allow people that have 3 LXA to swap into a Fusion token, which is a 3-to-1. And the Fusion token is what we're doing with the fuses of other NFTs. So with that Fuse token, you can basically put an ape in the car, put a whatever NFT character you want. Now, the amount of Fuse tokens will ever be created are only 500. The reason is it's really hard. You know, it takes a lot of time to do a fuse. You know, our artist has to go in. We have to look at the original NFT. We pull all the elements from the original NFT, and then we create the next NFT. And it takes all the original elements and adds new elements. So it's a process, you know, and it's something that's never really been done before. Not like this.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so we're working through it. We've done 2 so far. And when XLS 20 comes out, I'm going to have an atomic smart contract. So the original NFT will sit in the smart contract, which I'm calling the garage. And then you're able to send your Lambo, you know, fused NFT, which has, you know, your ape or your gorilla or your, you know, panda, whatever it may be. And you're able to send it to the smart contract, and it turns around and sends you back the original NFT. So that way there's no original that's destroyed. And by doing that, say like, you know, if you're part of a collection of 10,000 and they're tracking that token with number and identification number, you're not going to lose anything, you know, because the token's not destroyed. And, you know, so people can't hate just because you have a Lambo. You know?
Exactly. That's amazing.
More because it's connected to the atomic smart contract. So there's no way to really stop it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
and
course.
It's still connected. So the value is followed with that token as it goes from person to person, because it's all tracked and it only works with that token. The atomic smart contract will only work with that one token.
Sure.
And it'll swap it out, and it also takes the liability off our hands, you know, because then that NFT sits in that smart contract, not in our wallet.
Yeah, that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of like a next generation version of mutated Bored Apes, of how they did that whole collection. But like if somebody had sort of taken the idea and then really ran with it.
Yeah,
that's what
you're getting
it.
See, Lamborghini, the reason their cars go so much is because they have a huge demand with a low supply. So when I created this, I wanted to do the same thing. Huge demand, low supply, you know? Yeah. So there's only going to be 100 of the Gen 0 of the Fuse Lambos out there. And there's these collections with tens of thousands of them. And there's only going to be a few Lambos.
Yeah.
So people get all like ruffled and feathered, and they get all upset and be like, man, I'm sorry. Not everybody can have a Lambo, bro. Not every ape can have a Lambo, you know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Got a point.
Say, man. You know?
You have a valid point.
Yeah. And if you, if you ever wanted to do another collection, you could do one of Ferraris and make that supply half, because Ferrari is even more exclusive than Lamborghini. I see far fewer Ferraris at car meets and just around town than I do Lamborghinis.
we're gonna roll out the Beamers and the Mercedes, the little Pintos and stuff for those people that can't afford the Lambos. You know,
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
that's all down the plan. You know, doing motor and stuff like that. I mean, that's how we're gonna grow. This is Creative X LLC. That's what I set the company as. So cool. Creative X LLC is going to continue to create creative things, you know, and we're going to continue just, you know, building out the space and creating cool interactive art that can be displayed in the digital world, you know.
I love it all.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I mean, I'm just having fun doing it, though. You know,
and that's all that matters at the end of the day. You have to enjoy what you're doing for you to actually want to do this for years down the road.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I really think that the community, they really enjoy it. We're all like a family. We became really close with each other, and yeah, I mean, it's really the community. That's where the reason this is successful is because of the support of the community. They're the reason this thing is doing well.
That's great.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That means you have a strong ground, and with that, you can go a long way, because if you have a strong base, you're set up for the future to build the walls, build the floors, and just grow the building. He's
building the Great Wall of China at this point. You don't build it with one person. No. You build it with tons and tons of people.
Yes.
Now, we won't talk about all the inhumane stuff that happened in that time, but regardless. The thought is still there.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah, you know, and it's great because, you know, different community members have picked up different parts of this. They're running community chess games. We're running trivia every day. You know, we got different giveaways that we're doing. We're starting to do collections for good causes. Now, we did one for like autism and breast cancer awareness, and we're going to eventually give some of this back give it back for a good cause, right? And how I want to do it is we're going to have an application. So like for autism, for example, when you have a kid that has autism, if you're part of the community, you fill in the application, then we'll review them, and then we'll award the reward to whoever is in the community that we feel like needs it the most.
I praise you for that. I truly praise you for that.
That's an exceptional idea.
These are all little things I'm doing because I like it, you know. Yeah. I'm not doing it for any other reason besides that's how I feel it should be used, right? Sure. Anybody can give it out to anybody, right? But you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
For me, it means more to keep it within the community and give it to one of the members that needs it in their family, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, that means a lot. So we're going to do that. We're going to roll that out when it comes time. And yeah, well, that's something else that we're going to start doing.
Brian, you are a very wholehearted person, and I love that about just being a creator of a project. You need to see some sort of just love and compassion that you have towards the people behind it and the people supporting it. And if you have that, it's just you're not gonna lose.
True.
Well, that's not like I guess fail. You know, I guess some projects do fail.
Yeah.
But and for me, I'm already rich, man, to be honest with you. I don't care how much comes in and all this because a lot of it gets circulated back in anyways.
Sure.
So I helped a lot of people. Some of these people are living in countries that don't make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, I get stories of them buying a washer and dryer for the first time, and because they're part of the LXA art team. And they all went out and got tattoos, man.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
committed.
It's really cool,
They're committed.
Man. So, yeah, I mean, it's just awesome the kind of team we built and the family that we built together. And they love it. And that's why they do it. So a lot of people's passion are in this project. And you can see it, and it reflects through the art, and it reflects through the community, and reflects through everything. You can see it.
Yeah. Whenever I created that ticket trying to get a hold of you, I literally saw like 3-4 mods typing in on the ticket, just supporting me, making sure that I was well off, and making sure that the process went very, very smoothly. And
that's awesome.
I appreciated it so much.
Yeah, man, they're quick, aren't they?
Yes, very, very quick. There's always somebody.
I mean, exactly. We have people from all around the world, so yeah, there literally is somebody to answer a ticket at some point in time.
Nice.
Yeah, we do have a lot of open tickets from those fews, but that's because it is something new that we're rolling out, and XLS 20 isn't out. So doing it on solo with XLS 14 is, you know, It comes with challenges, and just have to take our time because we're not able to do the atomic smart contract and such. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just, it's something new, but we're working through it.
So, Brian, when asked about utility, what would you say your number one source of utility to the community is?
Well, utility can come in a lot of different ways, right? It's
Sure.
how the
Yes.
token will be used to create transactional information, and how transactions is what brings value. And utilities usually come within a video constraint or video environment, video game of such, right? What they refer to as a metaverse. My approach to that metaverse was I knew that it's going to be developed out by a lot of different people, and a lot of different metaverses or different types of metaverses are going to emerge. And I didn't want to get caught in the whole like competing against who's the best metaverse, who's going to get to the moon quicker, And for me, it was like, I'd rather come in and be like, I want to integrate with all you guys. I'm not even going to do a metaverse, or I that's not on the roadmap. Yes,
Sure.
I have Unity. Yes, I'm playing with Unity. Yes, I'm learning how to build games, but that's not on the roadmap. So it's like, how can I put this in your video game to build the transactional information and to build just value to our community, our Lambo holders, to be in your metaverse, which also brings people into your metaverse, which help you and it helps us. And together we can build the utility together, right?
Sure.
The utility is so many utilities with this, man. Like, because remember I said the DAO?
Yeah.
So I have the voting DAO that we rolled out, and we'll be putting more stuff to vote as we start going into the, as XLS 20 starts rolling out. And then we have the utility with as far as being in different games, with different upgrades, being able to upgrade the vehicle. We want to use Nitro to be able to compete. Like, you can bet Nitro in a race and you can bet with it. But it can also be used just to race in general, right? It's the gas. You need the Nitro to actually race in general. So there's a lot of utilities with that as well. Other utilities could be the fusion, combining it with another NFT is, a utility in itself as well.
Yeah, I really like that one a lot.
The application, so on the mobile application, the last stage of that development is going to be where you just paste your wallet in there, and then it reads what NFT you have based on like a UPC number almost, right? And then that UPC number is read by the app. It just says, okay, number 56333, and it knows how to configure that Lambo because it has a source file and it displays your Lambo. So what you'll see on your side, the user interface is just, you put your wallet on there, you press enter, and then boom, there's your Lambo. Because it's pulling it from the blockchain and it knows what it is, and it just displays it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So that's another utility in a sense. And I could always add to that, right? Like, it could create all kinds of stuff around that because that's our own mobile application.
Sure.
So yeah, there's that as well. That's as far as with the utilities, and I'm sure more is going to come. We're going to have the Nitro is going to be given as rewards to people that hold the NFTs, LXA, they'll have a Lambo. So they'll be getting Nitro as well.
That's great.
As
Great.
a reward system. Yeah.
It's going to want people. It's going to entice people to want to own more Lambos if they're getting a reward-based system by holding the Lamborghini.
There are not going to be enough Lambos, man. The demand's going to be way.
No,
out.
you're right.
I
You're
already
right.
know that.
But that's going to make people hungry for more.
True.
Exactly. But the Bored Apes, they started something. And when you start something, they become the first, and everything is in the shadow.
Yeah.
Right? What I'm creating is the first of its kind. It's never been done before. It takes off. Our NFT with the fuses right now, we did 2. They're at 75,000 XRP. If they sell, and we did them for the administrator of Sologenic. What I mean by administrator is he does the Discord. He does a lot of the social media and everything for them. We did it for him. And we kind of just like donated it to him, in a way. So those sell, that's 75, making it the most expensive NFT sold on XRP, period.
Yeah.
That would put a trophy, right? And once that trophy's there, it's like, then you really start something. And after we burned all the LXA from the fuse tokens, that takes the supply down to 1,500, or not 1,500, 7,500 Lambos, 500 fused Lambos. So 8,000 is a collection now.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to go down quite a bit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right? 1,500, 9,000. Yeah. I'll make sure I got my numbers right on that. But yeah. So I think they're going to go very quick. That's the point, is that they're going to sell off and they're going to be in really high demand. The price is really going to be too expensive for anybody. And that's okay, because that's when the other collections will come out,
Yep.
you know? And then more than likely copycats. And other people have tried to copycat, but my LXA project is just so hard to copycat because there's so many moving parts with fused ones, with 10 artists, with our community members. It's like you can't just get a compiled art collection and just throw it up and be a copycat. It's not going to happen.
You're on another level that not a lot of people can really match. It's basically unmatchable in a sense.
We had somebody try to copy, and then I turned around and I came up with Fuse that day.
Yeah.
Like, well, I already had the idea, but I launched it. I'm like, oh, there we go.
So, what are some of the metaverses? What are some of the metaverses that you'll be implementing the Lambos into?
I
have any in mind?
Yeah. I have a really personable, so I become friends with a lot of people. So Junkies, I just talked to him today. We have an arcade being built in there. Roger, he has a planet called the Automotive Planet. We're going to be building in there. Ripper Weaves, I talked to him today. They're putting us in their, metaverse aquarium thing that they have going on, showroom. X Linden, we're already in there. We have a garage in X Linden right now, which is in Second Life. And we'll be building flying Lambos within there. So we can build, we want to make it where X Linden, you pay so much X Linden and you can make your Lambo flying within that world.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and do an owl's nest up at the top, because for Crypto Owl, he's going to have a little owl's nest up there.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, that's just cool stuff we're doing, man. It's just everybody helping each other, and we're all friends.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And I applaud you for the work.
Thanks, man. So yeah, those are the different metaverses as of now, and I'm sure there's going to be more and more that are going to come and emerge as this goes on. But as long as I provide the object file, they should be able to put it in any kind of gaming world or gaming environment that they need, because I supply it in not just object file format, but an FBX format, and also I have Blender format as well if that needs to be. So it's pretty compatible.
I'm very curious about the Junkieverse. Will it be like a pixelated Lambo, or will it be like the true Lambo that you're already providing?
It's got to fit the art style.
They're gonna have arcade machines. So within the Junkieverse, you go to the arcade machine, and there could even be there's a completely other video game in there, right? It could be a showroom that goes in there, and you can showroom. But I'm looking at this one where you have a showroom, but you can also jump in your car and drive it around the real world.
Yeah, because they're making a whole world where you're able to drive cars around, buy land, make houses. They're making everything. It's insane over there at the Junkies.
Oh yeah. No, I've been working with Danny and talking to him as they work through it on Unity. Like I said, I've got Unity too, and I'm started playing with it as well. Cool. So I it started out with a racing game, and then all of a sudden I started building a dealership. I get in a dealership together, man, and I'm trying to get Snoop Dogg in there and popping bottles and stuff, so we'll see what happens.
There you go. Hey, you
can talk to the Nelk boys. They're in touch with them.
Oh yeah.
Dude, wouldn't that be sick though? Like having all the Lambos out there, and then people can just like walk around and see them, and then you can also put your Lambo for sale. You put it up for sale, and
somebody buys it for 75,000 XRP.
Hey, maybe. Hey, that's a trophy. Hey, the Junkies is going to be one. Danny has a fused Lambo, and he's going to put one of his Junkies, which is one of his rare ones, in a Lambo. And Lawrence is like, "Are you sure you want to do that? You're going to destroy it." This is before we're going to do the atomic smart contract thing.
Yeah.
And Danny's like, "Yeah, I am. Of course I am. I got like 8 of them. Yeah."
That's great. That is great.
And that's kind of what it's going to do, right? So it symbolizes a Lambo within the Junkie collection, which Danny will have, and why not? Because he's a project owner. He's he's up there.
Yeah,
sure.
So it's like why not? And that's what it's supposed to represent as a elite class within a collection. That's exactly what it's supposed to do, and just add to the original NFT. And that's I like that part, you know. So it's not destroying anybody's NFT, just adding to it. I think it's a cool little neat idea.
It's amazing. So, where do you see the project, let's say 1 year from now, then 3 years from now, and then 5 years from now? Because, like, is this going to be like a lifelong project where it never ends?
You know, the truth is this space is just evolving like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And it just keeps changing with regulations, and also changes with just creativity, man. You know, the more creative you are, and, you know, you can really keep going with this. LamboXApes, I still see it around because I feel like LamboXApes is going to start a trend if it, you know, once everything goes full blown, you know, with XLS 20 and everything. If it starts the trend, I don't think it'll ever disappear.
Yeah.
The collection itself will all be minted and be traded, and it'll have its own floor price, and it'll have its community that follow it. Creative X is going to be on doing other projects, like it's going to do expanding. You know, Nitro is going to be part of LXA. So everything that we're doing, the Fuse tokens, all this is still all complementing LamboXApes.
For sure.
We're thinking about doing an ape collection. So our ape collection will be able to be swapped out for Nitro. LXA can be swapped out for Nitro. So you have to have Nitro to swap out for either or. You see?
Yeah.
Nitro becomes the central currency, because ideally the central currency is the one that's going to be living on forever. So Nitro is going to keep on forever, and it will build more utilities into Nitro with other NFTs that we have, because it is the reward token.
And Nitro will be an XRP pair, correct?
I'm thinking about doing XRP paired, yes. Yeah, like XRP paired, yes, of course. Then yeah. So because ideally that's where the liquidity is going to end up, you know, after LXC all gets minted out, got to move the liquidity over to Nitro, right? To keep it going, because we want to keep this art team going and keep all that going that we started. You know, we just never expected to have a community art team like this, you know, and be doing so well with it, because our art team produces some good art and we do really well with it.
Yeah, it's amazing art. I love it all.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I see it continuing on. We're going to possibly look into motorbikes, possibly look into Ferraris.
Yeah.
Maybe some Hondas, bro, you know, BMW.
All the variants, all the top cars, yeah.
Well, we already have the augmented reality application, and we have all the setup for it, so why not stick with what we have and just add to it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we don't have to rebuild everything from the scratch up. And I'm pretty sure our ape collection, or whatever we do for characters, you know, that's going to be pretty popular. And once we get everything worked out and all the kinks and a real clean system of bringing in the NFTs, having them fused and pushed out, well, we're going to have another Fuse collection. And I'm sure that's going to be real popular. Yeah. By that time, it's going to be real popular fusing NFTs. So we created the word fuse too, you know, which is unique in itself, because we're like breeding with cars. It doesn't make no sense.
True.
But we were in a very unique position that we do have a Lambo type of vehicle where any NFT could see value in putting themselves in it.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll actually give it more value rather than anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. We might get into yachts, man, but you know, we don't know. We'll see what happens.
To be determined. To be determined.
Yeah, but you can see as this can continue on and on and on.
Yes, it can grow into anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. Creativity and imagination is as big as this. But you know what? There's a lot of things grown off imagination and creativity. Cartoons, Simpsons. I mean, they shape the world and change people's mindset, you know, and how to look at the world.
Well, I mean, they predicted everything. So, I mean.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Yeah, there's a lot in creating, people that are creators and put stuff out there like that. I think it's awesome, you know?
Sure.
So, yeah, we're going to continue doing that, man. I see LamboXApes still being around. I still think it being the OG collection, you know?
Sure.
As far as the different memberships, OG, Whales, Evo, we try to provide different little reward systems in there. Part of like doing the ape collection, we're going to be airdropping more than likely to certain groups, right? Different club groups that hold certain amount of LXA. We'll be getting certain amount of ape, token or whatever we release, and also that's also with Nitro.
Okay.
When we first started the project, that's where a lot of that did take place. The different, what member you were, like if you're an OG or you were a whale, because we did airdrops throughout this whole thing, man. So I divided up the airdrop supply, and I think we gave out more airdrops than any other project because we continued to reward our holders.
Sure.
Over and over and over. I mean, like we dropped a lot of tokens, man. So like anybody that, let's say that you bought, say 100 XRP worth of LXA at the beginning, that 100, that one LXA that you would have bought, which is only worth 20 XRP at that time, right? 25, maybe 30 XRP. Sure. Yeah, that one would have grown into about 7 or 8 LXA right now.
Wow.
Equivalent to about 700-800 XRP.
Each?
Not each. At one time it was up to 400 XRP.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, everybody that had LXA from the beginning and held has done very, very well.
That's good.
Good.
The return on investment is very key.
Sure.
You got to bless the OGs for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where it all gets rotated back in. At the end of the day, it's all coming in, but it all goes back out and it's all rotates,
Yeah.
As it should.
Yeah.
As it should, and our art team, when I had to explain that to them, explain to them how the art is sold and then how it's put into the liquidity pool. And they were like, once they understood and they saw it, they're like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, yeah, see, and it all circulates back in. And that's how it all works. And the token economics work on that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Brian, do you have any thoughts on the Ripple lawsuit happening right now?
There's a lot of talk, and the thing with that is just wait. We've been waiting a long time. Ripple isn't going anywhere, man.
No, they're not leaving.
It's been the same fucking price for like a year, man. I'm telling you, it ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to zero, I promise.
No, not at all.
Yeah. It's just, I think eventually they're going to rule on it. I'm hearing dates in like January, March, 4th of July time, we'll see what happens. It's going to lay out the laws for us crypto. Yes. I know a lot of XRP projects specifically are still in the US,
Yep.
So they're all looking at it. And that's part of why I teamed up with all the good projects, like good people, doing good things, because at the end of the day, we're going to be watching each other's back at the end of all this.
Yes. Yes, you will.
Because nobody in here, everybody I know is not in this to rip people off.
No.
Nobody.
Nobody except for X-Cows.
Huh?
You remember X-Cows?
No. X-Skulls?
No, X-Cow. Like moo.
No, I don't know. What is that?
That was the very first XRP NFT rug.
Oh, wow. Called X-Cows?
Literally called X-Cows. Yeah, right in the very beginning after X-Punks had launched, it was like X-Shrooms and Lame Lions, like a couple other projects, and then X-Cows popped up. And I was looking at it, and I was like,
seems a little fishy.
Something's a little sus about this one. Because some of them didn't have artwork yet. Some will work on a white paper, right? Whatever. Yeah, it takes time, right? But this one was kind of active, but it wasn't that active, and it had like a stock photo of a cow for the profile picture. I'm like, looking a little sus.
Oh my god.
And then I see on Twitter like a week later that it had been fully rugged and like the price had just plummeted.
That's terrible. That is so sad.
Yeah, it looked like the Squid Games token.
We went to zero.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my.
Now there are just people that don't know what they're doing, and there's not a lot of I had to teach myself liquidity pools, floats, balances.
Sure.
Market maker bot. I'm building one right now. I'm building it together. But a lot of people don't understand, when they put out tokens and do airdrops, that there has to be liquidity that gets put back in, and there's no book on this stuff, man. So,
learn as you go thing.
It's a learn and shit to be swim, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true. That is so true.
You know, and I hate it because some of the project owners, you know, they get blamed for it, and it could not even be them. You know, maybe they gave out too many tokens too quickly.
Yeah.
And because there's too many tokens out there they gave out, it's somebody else that's doing the dump. And at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for it, and everybody pissed at them, you know?
Yeah. A lot of learning.
It's just, yeah.
What happened with junkies? When they were doing their airdrops, a lot of people got mad at like the ratio that they were doing. And they were like, guys, like nobody's like telling us like what the correct things to do. We're just kind of guessing. Like, tell us what we need to change. Don't get mad at us, please. And then they changed it. So,
yeah.
Like, you know,
it's a very big learning experience, and
you learn. Honesty goes
a
long way in this game, man.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody that I've ever talked to too, you know, I'm like, I'm still learning this, you know, I'm like, look, I'm still learning this, but as I learn, I start implementing new things that work and things that don't work. Like with the airdrops, when we did it, I identified the bot problem right away. And at that point in time that I started, there was no bot preventions. Bot preventions didn't exist.
Not at all.
So what I did is I created a double submission form with 2 honeypot checkers, where people had to, so I did a giveaway with Willy Wonka where they had to find the answer to the question. So they ended up going to the site and they had a password on there. So they had to figure out what the password was. And then if they got past the password, they got to the submission form. And then when they got to the submission form, they had to fill it all out. And then it had 2 honeypot checkers on there. So I knew it wasn't a bot. You feel me? If they went through all that trouble, it wasn't a bot.
Yeah.
You know?
That is 100% authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely a person behind that computer.
Yeah,
for sure.
And at that point in time, we didn't have verified wallets. We didn't have any of that stuff. You know, we didn't have the preventions that are there now. So that's how I rolled out the first airdrops to prevent from bots. Is they're making sure they're real people getting them. And
that is amazing.
That's awesome.
Then with RD, I worked with XRP Fact Checker, and I was one of the first people to work with him. And we created the first tools that he introduced, which was the filtration tool for RD, which filtered out the wallets to show you how much their holding was. So that way we could airdrop to certain holders that held specific amount of tokens. Because I was like, well, if they hold a specific amount of tokens, then we'll airdrop them because they have to be real people. And if they're not, then they dropped it, then shit luck. But so we create the filtration tool, and we put that out for a few projects and gave that to them, and it's
worked ever since.
Yeah, it's worked ever since. But now RD has gotten a lot better. They've incorporated some of that stuff already in there.
Good. Great.
Oh yeah, man.
Well, Brian, if there's anything else out there you'd like to add on to this, maybe spoil or tease to your community.
I don't know if I have anything to spoil or tease at this moment.
You provided us with so much more information than we thought we were going to get, and I thank you so much for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing.
Hey,
yeah, it's great talking to you, Brian.
I enjoy, man, all the support. Thank you for you guys taking the time to meet up with me and to do this interview. And I'm glad you guys are actually doing this, man. Interviewing these project owners, it builds a lot of, it gives people a chance to actually hear from the owner and their perspective and what's in their head and what they're doing. Because each owner is different and they're going to support different people and their belief system. So it's good that you go out there and put a voice behind these projects. And I have to say with Ethereum, there's a lot of people that don't have their voice or their face out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all behind the scenes, behind the curtains. You really don't know who's behind the project unless you really go out and try to find out who's behind it.
Yeah. Or dig through their Discord server for hours and hours and hours. It's aggravating.
Painful. It's very painful.
Yeah, so with XRP projects, I've noticed a lot of people, they put their face out there, man. Yeah. They're not scared to go out to the public and say, this is who I am. And that's part of the reason why I came out and I did start this project. I was going to start a project many years ago, but we never went to fundraising because we were worried with SEC and ICOs during that time were just very scrutinized,
Sure.
And then the project I was going to do was going to disrupt things pretty bad. It was going to decentralize power. And we had a pretty good way of creating a currency for machines. So it was anyways, we had to stop it. We got told by the chairman of ERCOT that we were going to get hit with so much litigation that we might as well just stop while we're ahead. And the attorney was, the brother was the chairman of ERCOT. Our attorney was, because I had pretty powerful people on my team.
Nice.
And I had to shut that down, unfortunately. Maybe one day the world will be ready for it. There was an article written about it from Michael Rivera. He was a NASA scientist, and he wrote it before Bitcoin, and he talks about how this is going to push innovation for technology infrastructures for the future, and how machines will be taking over the future labor system of tomorrow. Like, basically, they'll be doing all the jobs for us. And we need a currency that supports that. And this is before Bitcoin. Keep that in mind. So all this is before Bitcoin, that he wrote this whole thing with the monarchy system, and he goes into gold and how it was used for the medium of exchange, and then he goes into power and how it makes up 1/3 of all currency in the world, and that's why countries regulate it within certain countries and control it.
Wow, that's insane. That is insane.
Pretty crazy,
yeah,
man.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Surprised that wasn't in a Simpsons episode.
Yeah, no kidding.
yeah, right. Actually, it is in The Simpsons, man. So the name, if you actually look at the name of a project and you look up the history, it's in the Jeffersons, dude. And the Jeffersons uses the same name. And then in the World Trade Center, or not the World Trade Center, the first convention for New York Stock Exchange to introduce technology, he introduces the same name of my project there too. So you can see it throughout history, the same name. That's why I said maybe the world's just not ready for it yet. Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just they're not ready for it yet. And
soon to come, my friend.
Soon to come. It's a more than what the technology that I have to make it happen. It's really a mindset that needs to happen. Sure. People's mind needs to open up to having power as a central currency, because it can't be forged. It can't be hoarded, because only a certain amount can be held at one time per certain person because of battery capacity. So it can't be hoarded. It can't be cheated. And people's mindset has to open to that it's actually works as a better medium of exchange than any other thing is power.
Yeah.
Because it has to be used when it's made, like used, or it has to be stored. When that happens, and then they'll be ready. But that hasn't happened yet.
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, thank you once again for your time, and we truly appreciate you coming on and just telling us everything about the project from head to toe. And we look forward to the future of LamboXApes, and we would love to hopefully get you on once again down the road once everything continues to progress, and hopefully by then XLS 20D is out and things are being able to be minted, and the whole ecosystem's just more developed.
Yeah. Yeah, and as a car guy, we will definitely be in touch, Brian. We will definitely be in touch.
Yeah, man, definitely stay in touch, guys, and we'll do another one of these later and kind of, do a follow-up and see where I'm at that point. I'm
For
sure.
Yeah.
New stuff on the table, so.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys.
Thank you once again. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Alt Kings, and we will see you next episode.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
How did I miss it that badly?
Brian, we appreciate everything, man.
Hey,
that was great. That was great.